We're an insurance and financial services company in South Springfield, and 20 years is our anniversary next year. The company has evolved into what it is today, which was a vision of having a one-stop shop.
You hire the best of the best.
Yes, we do. Everybody here to me is family.
Our guiding principles are:
be kind,
speak honestly,
make it simple,
act fairly,
put people over profits. Simple solutions.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Obviously, this is not the Morning Waffle. This is Dollars and Cents. We'll fix that title in post. That's what they say.
You could have made me waffles. I would have been okay with that.
You would have, wouldn't you? How's it going today?
It's going good. Gosh,
Well,
it's going to be 70 degrees today.
Is it really? Well,
Can't complain.
it's a good day to do a indoor state planning seminar,
16th
isn't
of
it?
March, something like that. What is
Today's the 16th. Yesterday was the Ides of March. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, 2 o'clock workshop today.
Yep.
I think it's pretty full, but if you want to come, I'm sure we can find room.
Yeah,
2 o'clock at the Resource Center.
We'll get her done anyway. That's
Yeah.
the way it works.
It'll
So,
be good.
All good. We were watching Zelensky speak a
Yeah.
little bit. That's a developing situation. But anyway, what you got for us today, Bruce?
I say lock and load. Send all the Democrats.
Well, they're itching to go, I suppose. But
Yeah.
yeah. What do you want to talk about today?
Hey, that's, that whole crisis over there has brought up lots of issues. I get a lot of calls right now about, folks that are not necessarily my clients. They're folks that are worried about their market investments. And, I got one thing to say about that. I mean, we've talked about planning till we're blue in the
Yes,
face.
yeah,
When
we
you're
really have.
planning, you plan for things like this. My first question to those folks, are you in an investment plan? Are you in a retirement plan? What's the purpose of what you're doing? Is it for accumulation and growth? Are you young enough? Are you still working? If you are, don't worry about it. It's current events. Current events come and go. Now, recovery periods, with a market correction, things like that. And remember, a correction is 20%,
Right.
right?
Sure,
We're
okay.
not there yet,
Right.
right? We're in this little adjustment period. So I don't think anybody should get overly concerned. About markets. Now, I'd be overly concerned about the health of our country,
Well, we're going to have a correction on that come November, aren't we?
Well, let's hope so. Everybody
Sure
go
looks
vote.
like it.
November, don't forget. But, I think reviewing what are you trying to accomplish would be a good thing. An investment plan, the only objective is growth,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
right? You're
Okay.
dollar cost averaging, you're putting money in, you're diversifying your assets. Hopefully you got different sectors and not 3 auto parts companies.
Yeah, that's
If you have 3 companies in the same sector, you're not diversified,
right.
right?
Sure.
So you got to have different things. But if you're a younger investor, you can accept more risk. If you're an older investor, you need to be more conservative. Now, you still might be in the markets, but you're going to tend to lean more towards large blue chip type companies, industrials, things like that, that maybe won't be swayed so much, by the markets. Now, I've got small company aggressive stocks in my portfolio, and I've got some larger companies that aren't going to move around that much, like a Microsoft or things like that. They may fluctuate a little bit, but it's not like they're going to significantly drop over a period of time. And so I think you have to evaluate when you're investment planning. I think you have to stay very aware of your balance on your portfolio. Those of you that are in a 401k, don't let them make those decisions for you. I think you need to rebalance that portfolio as well. That bucket of cash is yours. Doesn't matter if it's sitting here on the table in $100 bills or if it's in a 401k statement at your employer. Yeah. That's your money, and I think you need to stay aware of it. Now, investment planning is a lot different than retirement planning.
Sure.
Retirement planning has more objectives than just growth, right? Safety, security, protection, flexibility, providing sustainable income. All of those things you cannot get with a market type investment. Now, their claim to fame is, we can do this, we can do that. Yeah, with the thing called a fee. So, when you're older, I mean, why pay people to manage money you don't want to lose? So you manage it conservatively, and you don't need to be paying people fees to do that. So, I think that, we can all, take that to heart. Identify what's the purpose of what you're doing right now with your money, and make sure you're staying in your lane. Mm-hmm. All right?
Sure.
And then things like this, these current events, hey, it happens.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we can do about it but vote in November.
Right.
And, meanwhile, we're going to pay $4, $5, $6, $7 a gallon for fuel.
Well, that's all Putin's fault.
Yeah, inflation. Dang that Putin. Don't vote for Putin in November.
Right.
But, inflation, I think we're going to finish this year. My guess would be 9 to 11% average inflation.
Those are Jimmy Carter numbers right there.
Yeah, that's at 1978 to 1981 type figures. That I think our highest inflation number back then was around 13.5. So and we lived through that. It was painful. Remember all the hostages in Iran?
Yeah.
And, it took a strong Republican president to pull them out by just saying, stop doing that or we're going to take you out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about Trump, he's got an ego as big as our county, but, that's okay. It's going to take somebody with an ego like that to correct the
ego
problem
that's over there
that we've created right now with the administration that we have. And it's not Joe Biden's fault. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Have a little empathy for the guy. He's 105?
Not quite, but
well, he's pretty
creeping
old.
up on there.
His mind is at least that old. Mm-hmm. But, you can't blame him. He's just doing what they're told. He can't read the teleprompter anymore, so they're not sure what they're going to do between now and 3 years from now. Good Lord, that's a long time. So,
well, he lasted longer than I thought he would. I didn't think they'd let him stay in that long.
Hey, don't worry. We're one breath away from Kamala Harris being in charge, so don't worry.
She's already called herself the president multiple times. It's pretty funny to watch that.
Yeah.
The Harris administration with Joe Biden. Do you remember when she said that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, as she giggles and
Cackled.
laughs about dead children. So anyway, just vote in November and, pray for we got to be prayed up too. We got to pray every day. We got to pray. They tell us we got to pray for our leaders of our country.
Yep.
So don't forget.
Don't forget
to do
Keep it
that.
up. All right, Bruce, thanks for coming in again. We'll fix
All right.
that title since I forgot to do that, and we'll see you next week from
All right.
Dollars and Cents. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.